Hi everyone, and welcome to Craft.io. In this video, I'll show you how to connect your strategy and execution processes using the native linear integration. We'll walk through the entire setup, from the initial API connection to your status mapping and your webhook configuration. This will enable you to discover, prioritize, and roadmap in Craft.io while your engineering team stays focused and fast in linear. Let's dive in. To get started, make sure you have admin access in Craft.io and the permissions to generate API tokens in Linear. Before we jump into the technical setup, let's talk language. In your Craft.io Workspace settings, you can align your terminology to match how your team speaks. You can change how you label epics, features, and stories in Craft.io, in addition to your default timeframes and strategy. We also highly recommend aligning your importance field values in Craft with Linear's priority values. Since Linear field values are fixed, matching them in Craft ensures a seamless handshake between product and engineering. You can do this by entering your system fields on the left-hand side, toggling over the pencil icon in the importance field, and editing your values accordingly. Now, let's head over to Linear. To link the two platforms, we first need to generate an API key. Navigate to your settings and click Security and Access on the left. Here, we'll scroll down to Personal API Keys and click New API Key. I'll give the key a name, and I'll review my permissions and team access requirements. While you can customize your permissions, we recommend selecting read and write access at the minimum to ensure a smooth data flow between both tools. You can also define team access, and we encourage you to select all the teams that may be relevant to your workflow. Now I'll go ahead and click Create. Now that's created, I'll make sure to copy the key as we'll need this for the next step. Now let's jump back to Craft. Back in Craft.io, open the cog in the top right and go to Integrations and Imports. Now click on the Linear Connect icon. Here you'll paste your API key and give the connection a name before clicking Next. Now you'll select the specific Linear teams you want to sync. This is a critical step. It keeps your strategic backlog clean by ensuring only the relevant engineering work flows into Craft. Take a moment here to select every team that plays a role in your product delivery before you click Next. Next, we'll define the structure. You can map linear projects as either epics or features in Craft, and once you set this high-level relationship, the lower-level issues will follow suit automatically. I'll go ahead and map my projects as epics. Craft will automatically map linear fields like title, description, status, assignee, and priority. Because Linear is built for speed and uses a lean data model without custom fields, we focus on these core fields for the integration to ensure your sync remains fast and reliable. With your mapping set, click Save. If you'd like to sync at this point, you can. This will pull your items from Linear into Craft.io according to your defined teams and labels. I'll go ahead and do this now, but this can also be done at a later stage. As you can see, these items have now been imported from Linear under a default product area in Craft.io, ready for you to prioritize and roadmap with. For teams who simply want a one-way sync from Craft into Linear, you'll finish up your integration journey here. Now you can create epics, features, and stories in Craft and push these into Linear as part of your workflow. I'll scroll down to one of my items that's not yet integrated. Here you can click on the item to open up the details and review the item properties on the right-hand side. I'll assign this item to a Linear team and click Sync Item. More detail on this specific part of the workflow is covered in a separate video and in documentation in our Help Center. For teams who want to maintain a bidirectional sync between both tools, we have 2 more steps to cover. First, we'll review our status mapping to make sure both tools speak the same language. Let's go to our Workspace settings. In the left-hand navigation, click Workflow and Statuses. This is where product teams can create a dedicated workflow suited to your ways of working. It's also where you can map Linear's dev-centric statuses to your Craft roadmap statuses. Scroll down to the Dev to Craft IO status mapping, and we can do this here. This will allow me to map Linear's to-do to Craft's ready for dev. This allows engineers to dive into the details while stakeholders in Craft get the high-level views they need. Finally, to make your integration truly bidirectional, we'll configure a webhook. I'll open up my integrations and imports. And in Webhook Setup, I'll copy this unique URL. This is the mechanism used to tell Craft.io the exact moment something changes in Linear. Now with this URL, we'll head back into Linear. In Linear, we'll open up our settings once again, and we'll scroll down to the API section. Here, I'll click New Webhook. I'll give my webhook a name, and I'll paste in that URL I copied from Craft. Here, I'll make sure to select 6 data change events. These are issue labels, issues, project updates, issue attachments, project labels, and projects. To keep your data focused, you can also use the team filter in the webhook settings. Selecting only your relevant product teams ensures Craft.io ignores updates from other departments. I'll select all public teams for mine, so I have full visibility. Once your teams and events are defined, hit Create Webhook. The webhook is now in place, and the final stage is to trigger a first event in Linear. This will solidify the webhook connection going forward, meaning that future changes in Linear will be reflected in Craft. I'll go ahead and create a new test project for one of my integrated teams. Now let's go back to Craft one final time. Back in Craft, I can see the item appear instantly as a working item. This is a visual cue that your Craft and Linear workspaces are now officially connected. You'll also see this in your integrations panel. Here, you'll see a green connected icon next to your webhook to demonstrate that everything is in place. And that's it. Your bridge between strategy and execution is now built. By connecting Craft.io and Linear, you've ensured that your product discovery isn't happening in a vacuum and that your engineering team isn't working in the dark. If you have any questions as you set up your workspace, check out our Help Center or reach out to our customer success team. Thanks for watching and happy crafting.